You are watching T to the M to the IDD.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? T to the M to the IDD. I am back with another video, and with all of the other content that I'm bringing to the channel, I realized that it's been a while since I actually sat down and gave you some of my thoughts. Now, this video is going to be dedicated to the 85, the 105, and the 135. And why am I talking about these particular lenses? Because last year around this time I had an itch. I think I got a little bit of gear acquisition syndrome, but to be honest, I haven't bought anything in a long time, so I feel like that is okay for me. And it was really between the 85, the 105, and the 135. And so I like to do a lot of studying before I actually buy something like that, especially a lens, because these lenses are not cheap for the most part. And so what I ended up doing was I tried out the 85. And so the 85 was pretty interesting for me because I already own an 85 1.4 G, and that's an F mount lens that I actually adapt to my Nikon Z7 II. Right now I'm shooting on the Nikon Z8, and I've been using it for almost a year now. but that's a whole nother story. All right, shout out to Nikon. So I already had an 85, and a lot of times that's what you see me using on my channel now. And the thing that I quickly noticed about the 85 1.2 was just how distinctively sharp that lens was. I'm talking about at 1.2, it is amazingly sharp when I am focusing on my model, okay? And then the out of focus area is immediately noticeable. Whereas with my 85 1.4, it does not have that sharpness. And I know that this lens is old, but it kind of made me upset that I even tried the 1.2 with its sharpness, because every time I look at my 85 1.4, I'm always like, man, this is not sharp. It always seems soft because I got used to that 1.2, right? And that 1.4 kind of just seems a little soft, right? And kind of blends into that out of focus a little bit more. But I will say it does still have character, so it makes it kind of hard from that standpoint. I will say though, making the subject pop, I do love the 85 1.2 more than my 85 1.4, and specifically for that reason. Now, that lens new is about $2,800, and used, I think I seen it about 25. So that was my first choice, and all the other shoots that I've done, they have been amazing with that particular lens. So now I moved on to the 105. And what made me go to the 105? It was absolutely because everybody on the internet, everybody in the photography community was raving about the 105. And this is the Sigma 105. Now, Nikon has a 105 1.4 as well that I have yet to use. But I have had a few people tell me that I should give that lens a try. So I got to put that on my list and check it off. Let me know if you have that lens and what your thoughts are. And if you compared it to the Sigma, I definitely would want to know what you think. So when it came to the 105, beautiful lens, okay? The rendering of the images, beautiful, okay? Right now, the price, it's an old lens, relatively speaking. So the price, I think I seen it around $1,000, which doesn't break the bank. The form factor, it's just one of those things. It's one of those things. And where does the form factor come into play for me? It's not necessarily the weight, because it is kind of heavy as well. But the form factor is very important to me because when I travel, I like to travel very light. I normally have 2 lenses, and I normally have 3 cameras in one particular bag. And I wouldn't necessarily have this problem if I wasn't a content creator and making videos for YouTube and things like that. But I am a content creator and I am in the situation that I'm in. So I need all of the cameras that I have to record my content. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a problem throwing a lens like a 105 in there because I would have plenty of space because I wouldn't have 3 and 4. I mean, look, I got 3 cameras and then I take a film camera. So you get the point. So the form factor was one thing that really did it for me. And I love the shoots that I had with that particular lens. I did a few 2023 summer, even coming into 2024 WPPI. So I make sure that I get a lot of shoots in just so I can see what I really do like and what I don't like about a lens. And so that lens was pretty nice to me as well. Now, the last lens, the 135, I got the 135, I actually rented it. And when I rented that lens, I immediately noticed the distance that needed to be had in order to get a shot. Now, I would argue to say that, you know, most people don't go for full body shots with a 135, but to each their own, right? I'm a person that I will go for a full body. I go for a 3/4 as well. But when I was in Puerto Rico and I was using the lens, I was used to the 105, so I knew the distance that I needed. But when I set up that same shot, it just kind of amazed me of like the few extra steps that I had to take in order to get the shot that I actually wanted. So that was something that kind of made me squint a little bit. I also took it out on another shoot when I was here in Maryland, and it performed beautifully. Like sharpness, contrast, love the colors. Okay, the speed of the lens. I wouldn't necessarily say it's that heavy, but it is a big lens. So when I'm comparing all 3 of these together, since they do have that form factor and weight, you know, it is nominal difference in terms of me having a lens, right? So I wasn't really too big on the weight of them. That wasn't really a big factor to me. More so the form factor for the storage piece. So the 135, I had my experience with it. Now, when it comes to all 3 of the lenses, I'm gonna tell you, this is what I ultimately came to the conclusion of. Okay, I came to the conclusion that from all 3 of those lenses, the lens that I prefer the most is the 85 1.2. Hold on. Why is that so? Now, it's not because it's the best image quality, right? It does have phenomenal image quality, but I'm going to tell you honestly that I love the Sigma 105 image quality better than both of the other ones. Even when I went to edit the raw files, I love editing the raw files. I love the pop of color, the contrast that the Sigma produces, and at its minimal focus distance, I feel like that Sigma shines, like that separation that you get, and that's where I really see that lens shine. So that is the best quality one overall. Now, when you get the quality out the way, because all of them are quality, but to me, that's the one that I absolutely love the most. It came down to, like I said, the form factor. Now, the form factor is what took the Sigma out of the running for me. I just can't afford to have that in my bag when I have all of the other things that I need to carry. I'm doing events, and I'm having my photo walks, and I got to carry other things as well. So that is one less thing that I want to carry. And I even know people that got their own carrying case for that lens. So that was not going to be me. So that's why I had to take the 105 out. Now, when we talk about the 135 simply had to go because of the distance. Okay, the working distance, I just could not get down with the distance that I needed in order to get my shots. A lot of times I'm in situations where it may be cold outside, so I will rent a Airbnb, and I'll use the Airbnb as a studio. And so for something like that, the 135 in the Airbnb is not going to work. I did a shoot in a Airbnb when I was in Orlando when I first got the 135, and literally the model was in the hallway, and I was like on the other end of the house with my back against the wall trying to get a shot. Whereas when I put my 85 on, I was good. I had enough distance to be able to do whatever I wanted to do. And so that is what made me kind of steer clear of the 135. So I got left with the 85 1.2 overall from the lenses that I've tried over the year. Now, since I have an 85, I really had to sit down and think to myself, like, is it really worth the money to get the 1.2 when I got this 1.4? And I'm going to say I am able to make do with what I have. Okay, absolutely beautiful lens, absolutely. But do I want to pay 20 something $100 for that lens right now? At this point, I kind of don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I will settle out of court for that 85 1.4 that I do have, that does have some character and does get the job done for what I need. So when I am ready to make that move, I definitely will go for that 85 1.2. That's without a doubt. Unless I find a steal of a deal that I can't pass up. And shout out to y'all, because sometimes y'all be messaging me and just sending me crazy deals that you see. So if I come up on something like that, then that's a different story. But until then, T-Mid is going all for the 85, and it may be different for you. We all got different things that lead us to our decision. And so those were some of the things that were heavy factors in my decision. But I want to hear from y'all. You got your choice between those three lenses. Which one are you going with in 2024? T to the M to the IDD. Until the next video. See you later. Peace.